computer, and then I'm also going to enable transcript. So you may see a little notification about that as well. All right. Cool. All right, well, let's get going. Monday, January 24th. It's our first class. We've got 8 weeks to discuss Gateway to Success. Now, as I said a few seconds ago, the first 2 weeks, so this week and next week, we're going to meet in Zoom, and then hopefully then 2 weeks from today, we'll be back on campus in Elkhorn. So I should know by next week. So I'll put an announcement out and then I'll discuss it again when that time comes. But if you are uncomfortable coming on campus at any time, whether it's when we meet back up or later in the semester, just send me an email. I will have us live in Zoom, so you'd be able to join the class from home or work or your car or whatever without having to come onto campus. Again, all of your situations, as you know, there's something going around, been around for a couple of years now, believe it or not. Time's gone fast, but flexibility is probably one of the key words to success anytime, but especially now. So, all right, that's it. 8 weeks done. Be flexible. Everybody gets A's. See you on the flip side. No, it's not that simple, but flexibility is a big deal, right? So especially now. So anyway, we're going to be flexible. I'm very flexible. So again, if at any time, once we're back on campus meeting and face-to-face, if you're unable to make it or choose not to come, but you still want to participate during those couple of hours, I'll have it available live in Zoom just like this. So anyway, on with the show. So announcements. First off, we're gonna kind of give you a tour of Blackboard today. All of your instructors are going to be using Blackboard to some degree or another. So I'm assuming all of you are either in your first semester at Gateway or second semester, although some of you maybe, we implemented Gateway to Success. It's been about 1.5 years now. So I think for the most part, all of you are probably relatively new to Gateway. So welcome to Gateway, first off. And this 8 weeks or so is going to go fast, just like all of your semesters will go fast. So we'll discuss time management a little bit this over these next 8 weeks. And again, really, all of you are coming from different backgrounds of education. You're coming from different experiences in the field, whatever the field is, and all of you have different majors and expectations regarding your careers. So anyhow, let's see. Heard some action. Okay, we've got looks like Brielle. Welcome, Brielle. Let's see. I'm gonna and when you guys come in, I thought I had this set on to be mute when you come in, but if you don't mind putting yourself, all of you are on mute, it looks like at the moment, but some of the background fuzz can interfere a little bit sometimes. And if you have a question or comment or concern, seriously, just unmute yourself and jump right in. If there's a raise your hand icon, this could maybe your first time really using Zoom. There are you have some kind of a toolbar that with the chat icon, you can also raise your hand or give a thumbs up or maybe a thumbs down too. I don't know. But I know you can certainly do little emoticons and that. But yeah, if you have something that you need to ask or interject, yeah, just jump right in. So anyhow. So flexibility, meeting back on campus, all that good stuff, time management. So we're going to go through some of that. Again, you guys are all from different fields and departments. So before we go too much further, my background in my department is in the natural sciences department, which is within the School of Liberal Arts and Sciences, which used to be the General Studies Division. So most of I teach anatomy and physiology, as well as animal biology, gateway to success. But yeah, my students primarily are nurses, veterinary techs, anything allied health. So surge techs, occupational therapy, physical therapy assistants. And lately, vet techs, I've been teaching some animal biology as well. I've been a college professor since the year 2000, so going on 22 years now. I've been with Gateway over 3 years. Prior to that, I was with Blackhawk Technical College over in Janesville and Beloit. And I taught same thing, anatomy and physiology, but I also taught their version of this, which was just called College and Career Success Skills. But anyhow, that's a little bit of my background. I'm primarily at the Elkhorn and Burlington campuses. I live in Delavan currently, with hopes to move closer towards Elkhorn and maybe Burlington sometime this summer. My wife and I have 2 daughters, and we homeschool them. Well, my wife homeschools them. I'm the principal, so and the school board too. But so the transition to online classes for them was pretty smooth sailing. But yeah, other than that, that's about it. If you have any questions ever, shoot me an email. I respond pretty quickly. And other than that, as far as you guys go, looks like there's about 12 of you in here this afternoon. So welcome to all 12 of you. We'll get to know you a little bit more as we go. Again, today, I really just want to spend time kind of getting you acclimated to expectations and what's going on with Blackboard and all that good stuff. So let's keep her moving. Syllabus and assignments. Now, again, part of the reason that we have students take Gateway to Success is to really get you familiar with what services we have to offer and how to access those services, but also to get you familiar with what to expect from your other instructors and your experience in your classes. Again, all of us use Blackboard. Some of us use it more extensively than others, but you will see a lot of, certainly your grades will be in Blackboard and you'll be able to access that, but also you'll be able to find a lot of your PowerPoints or your slides for lectures. You'll be able to find links to videos that'll be helpful. A lot of us are using what's called a Dropbox for assignments in Blackboard. So we're trying to eliminate paper, basically. I know we'll be meeting face to face here in a couple of weeks, but even then, everything that you submit for grades will be through Blackboard, and that's how most instructors do it nowadays. I mean, a math class, or maybe some of your other courses. Obviously, your maybe more specific courses to your majors. You'll be doing more lab work and hands-on work, and some of those assignments obviously will be done and provided to the instructor in a face-to-face setting. But yeah, so we'll teach you how to do drop boxes. We'll teach you how to submit assignments. I'll show you how to do discussion boards. A lot of instructors have discussion boards provided to the students. So really, getting you acclimated and familiar with Blackboard, that's going to be one of your primary objectives in this 8 weeks, is to walk out of here with a pretty firm grasp on how it's called an LMS, Learning Management System, works. So, and part of that, your instructors will always have the syllabus in your accessible to you in Blackboard. So let's look at that first. Let me put this on to student mode. There we go. So in essence, this is what you're going to see on your end. Hopefully, all of you are at a computer. I know maybe you're on your cell phone or a tablet, but hopefully you're able to access your Blackboard course. Now, when we meet face to face, we'll be in kind of a computer lab. So you can certainly bring your laptops, when we meet. But again, we do have computers that you can use as well. So anyway, the first thing that we're going to do is go through the syllabus and look at some of the assignments that you're going to do. This little icon that says start here, I'm going to go over there real quick, because that basically takes us right back to the syllabus. But if we go through the start here learning cycle, it's going to take us back up to that syllabus and assignments section. So, but I do wanted to show you that because it's the next item on your Blackboard list. Again, most templates for Blackboard you'll see are going to be set up very similar. Well, you'll have announcements, the instructor information, syllabus, and maybe a course calendar, and then a Zoom link or something like that. So let's look at the syllabus. I think that's where most instructors begin, and that's where this is kind of your contract with the instructor regarding expectations and kind of what's going on that way. So gateway to success, and again, all of the syllabi that you'll see are going to be in the same type of format or template. So it's going to have your basics on there, the when we meet and the beginning and end dates, where it is that we meet. So we'll be in the North Building, room S241 in a couple of weeks. And then it has the instructor name and the email address. And then my office is in Elkhorn in the North Building as well, room E221. So again, all of your instructors will have this information available to you and accessible throughout the semester. Now, I'm going to stop for just a quick second because most of us use Google Docs or Google Sheets or Google Slides, and these are all going to be view only, so or read only files. So if you do want your own copy of the syllabus or a copy of an assignment that you want to be able to type right into, you can come over to File and you can click make a copy. So you can make a copy right into Google Docs, for instance. So if I clicked make a copy, it would give me a new copy of this exact document that now becomes, well, say I'm Joe Student. So as Joe Student, I click make a copy, and then boom, now I have my own that I can type right into. The other thing students oftentimes will do is use this download section here, and it gives you a little sidebar. You know, if you want to, all of you probably have, or if you don't, I'll show you how to attain a free Microsoft Word or the whole Office package. So but yeah, you can download this document as a Word document. You can again type right into that, or if you want to print it or whatever. So again, I'll show you how, we'll see this more and more. So over the next 8 weeks, you'll be very familiar with some of the basics too of using Google Docs and Google Sheets, as well as some of the Microsoft aspects. All right, so let's see. Office hours also will be on. Oh, notice too, it says strengths. Now, week 3, so the first time hopefully that we'll be on campus together, we'll be doing a strengths activity where it assesses and analyzes based on a questionnaire, kind of what your strengths are out of the different kind of like archetypes, I guess, if you will, or descriptors of behavior. So anyway, I think there are 30 or 35 possible strengths, and then it just organizes them or numbers them. and ranks them for you. So we'll go through that because generally we try to build on strengths as opposed to exposing weaknesses and focusing on the faults and the weaknesses. So so it's one thing we'll talk about. Like I say, it'll be week 3 by the time we get there. Okay, and then my office hours again, if you need anything that we can't get accomplished through emails or through our meetings each week, I am available Tuesdays in Zoom from noon to 2. And then I'm also going to be at my office in Elkhorn on Wednesdays between 5 and 6. So we get a course description. Again, we're going to be exploring the Gateway community, the different resources and services that we have available. We'll look at some of the basic skills that will help you with academic success, which again, time management is going to be a big one, organization, and really, again, knowing your strengths, knowing what you're good at and how to tailor your time management and tailor your academic needs to those strengths. And then again, we'll talk a little bit about not just academic aspects, but we'll also talk about personal goals and your personal growth and perception and mindset. So a little psychology aspects too. Again, I teach anatomy and physiology, so we'll probably discuss certain things regarding stimulus and response and certain triggers that enable or cause your heart rate to maybe go up, or your blood pressure to go up, or sweaty palms, or just changes in your physiology, and how to manage that, how to recognize those stressors and recognize those triggers and be aware of them and be aware of ways to cope with those, or just develop better coping mechanisms for stress. Because I think that especially nowadays, with all of the different stuff going on and the different messages that we receive, it's hard to really have control over anything but yourself and your own mind and your own attitude and your own behavior. And so yeah, we'll talk about that type of stuff too as we go. And just it's not going to be a bunch of pie in the sky, motivational, like, get you moving stuff. It's going to be reality. We're going to talk about the realities of our personal lives, our work lives, and kind of what's going on and how to manage time and manage stressors and really, be of a growth mindset, really, not just while you're at school, but throughout the rest of your lives. So anyway, that's kind of the goal of the course. And again, of course, like I said before, getting you acclimated and comfortable with Blackboard and all of those tools. So you won't need any textbooks or anything. You really need to have high-speed, reliable internet. And again, a computer is ideal. You can complete these assignments certainly from a tablet. I wouldn't recommend it, or a phone. The college does provide students with loaner computers. So if you need a Chromebook, or you need some sort of a laptop, just let me know, or let any instructor know. Even if you're good now, maybe down the road, a few semesters from now, your computer takes a dump and you're back. It's kind of like, email your instructor. We have the ability to basically submit, have like a work order type ticket, and get you the laptop that you need. So anyway, if you need technology, if technology is an issue, let me know, or let any of your instructors know if that happens down the line. Even Wi-Fi, if you're having issues paying your internet bill, or your Comcast bill, or Charter, or whatever you use, let your instructor know, or let us know. We have services that can help students with those types of things. If you have issues with, if you're going to campus and with car trouble or gas, any issues that you might have, we have services to assist you and guide you with that. The college has a big kind of a kitty or a pool of funds that assist students that for anything to make you comfortable and successful in what you're doing. So so again, you just have to reach out, and we'll talk about how to access those services over the next 8 weeks. Additional materials, again, Office 365, Microsoft Office 365, you need access to that. So that's like Word documents, Excel spreadsheets, PowerPoint slides, that is free to use. So we'll show you how to get a hold of that. And then we'll look at the Gateway student handbook and all that good stuff. So other than that, the rest of the syllabus goes through kind of the same stuff you would see on any syllabus at the college. So it talks about attendance policies and other Title IX, pregnancy policies, things like that, tuition refunds. Okay. So I'm not going to bore you with all of this. I'll let you bore yourselves whenever you get a chance. Sometime between now and next Monday, one of your assignments is certainly to kind of browse through the syllabus, and there's kind of a little scavenger type hunt. So you want to look through that. I've got one of the other aspects I think students really look for in a syllabus is kind of a course calendar or the outline of due dates and assignments. So that's one thing you can definitely expect in a syllabus. Now, for Gateway to Success, I put the calendar right in the syllabus. Now, for my other courses that are longer, maybe a little more intense, like 14-week A&P type of course, I would have a link in the syllabus that would take you out to a calendar. So some of us do that as well. But either way, you should have access to kind of the course calendar. So if you do, by all means, if you when you get into other courses, and the goal of this is to help you with time management, to kind of lay out what to expect and what assignments are coming up when you have exams and all of that good stuff. So all of us are really supposed to be providing you with that. So if you do get into a situation where the course where you're not provided with that, just reach out to your instructor and email them or ask them in class if they have a course calendar. And they may have one and they just haven't put the link in, or something like that. So yeah, expect a course calendar. It's very important for your time management and for expectation aspects. We also have an academic calendar as well, the Gateway Academic Calendar. That's a hyperlink that's going to go out and show you some important dates as far as the college is concerned. So this would have like Easter, for instance, spring 2022 has when the course when the semester begins, when the semester ends, and then it has closed dates. So we're closed Good Friday and Good Monday, which that won't affect us. We're done by the beginning of March. So, but if you have other classes at the end of the semester on Mondays or Fridays, that would affect that may affect your need to attend, because and nothing's available for the college those days. The library's closed, the student services, everything's closed. Of course, you can use Blackboard. Summer 2022 is in here as well. First day of summer starts May 9th. And then we've got Memorial Day on the 30th, and then July 4th. And then we go to August 13th. So you'll find that as link in your syllabi as well. Now, the other thing I put in here are the points for the assignments. So you'll oftentimes see that as well in a syllabus. And basically the kind of the grading and the due dates, we'll go through those as well. Those should be found in your course calendar. Okay. Grading policy, you're going to need 6. This is a pass-fail class. Now, normally most of your classes are going to have a grading scale. So let me pull up a different syllabus. Let me see if I have one available. So here's one of my other syllabi from my A&P courses. So normally you're going to have some sort of a grading scale in your syllabus as well. With Gateway to Success, it's because it's pass fail. It's just a one paragraph statement on how you're graded. So let me pull up my my other syllabus so you can see. So normally in a syllabus, you'd also see something like this, like the grading scale. So the upper points limit and then the range, to get the specific percentage. Okay. But again, with our class, Gateway to Success, it's pass fail. So there we go. So we have 810 possible points and you need 688.5. So most of these assignments are very straightforward. You either do them or you don't. There's not really right or wrong answers with these. So yeah, it's basically a matter of attending, and if you can't attend, make sure you're keeping up with the homework in Blackboard. Okay, so let's see. The rest of the syllabus is going to be college policies again that you'll see on any syllabus. I could pull up any instructor syllabus and they're going to have all of this in here, this exact same stuff. So it talks about academic honesty and plagiarism a little bit, alcohol and drug policy, college attendance policy. Again, we do expect your attendance with any of these synchronous courses, whether they're face-to-face or in Zoom. If it has a time slot with it, then we do expect you to attend. If you can't, but again, flexibility is key. So if you can't attend or unable to attend, again, just email communication, right? Just email your instructor, tell them, you're not going to be in class. And one thing too, kind of as a hint to you for the future, if you are going to miss a class with an instructor, because we provide you with a syllabus and a course calendar, and because everything's in Blackboard, first of all, never ask in an email, did I miss anything? Or will I miss anything? Or I hope I don't miss anything, because you don't want to say that, because you are going to miss something no matter what if you're not there, no matter what it is. If your spouse goes shopping and you stay home, then you missed going shopping. Either, so yeah. Anyway, so my point is, if you're going to miss class, you're not going to attend, you are missing something, right? So don't ask if you're going to miss anything, or I hope I don't miss anything. Just simply state in one or two sentences that you're unable to attend, maybe a brief explanation why, and leave it at that. So don't ask for so anyway, I think just keeping it professional with your instructors and keeping it the communication lines open if something does come up, and be honest with them. All of us are very flexible and we'll work with you. Just don't disappear. It's when there's no communication. All courses have drop dates and other things like that. So just make sure you communicate, even if the sky really is falling for you, too much to juggle or handle. Again, as we'll talk about these 8 weeks, it's being able to be self-critical and to be self-aware enough to be able to say, I can't do it. No different than to be able to be self-aware enough to say, I can do it. So know your limits. And sometimes, like right now, you have your limits are open, you have time and you have energy, but life happens, right? We don't always know what's going to come up. So being able to handle and assess and understand what's going on and to really ultimately communicate with your instructors. If you're going to be late with due dates, or if you're falling behind a little bit, again, just be honest with yourself first and foremost, that this is the reality and I need your assistance. So don't sugarcoat anything. Don't try to make things up. Don't, we all of us have seen it all and heard it all. So what we expect is just honesty, and we're compassionate, and we'll help you in whatever way we can. So so anyway, having said all of that, anyway, you can go through and read through the rest of that. I've probably already said enough about the syllabus. Once you do go through and review the syllabus, just come over here and click Mark Reviewed. And just click Mark Reviewed. Done. That's 5 points in the toward your 810. Okay. The next thing on the under the syllabus tab is your online course assessment list. So these are the deliverables. These are the items that you're going to be graded on. So in a little bit more of a little bit more detail. So this week we have a handful of items to do between today and next Monday. So by the time we meet next Monday, you're going to want to have these checkoffs done. So again, if you want your own copy of this to be able to, some students like to be able to highlight that that they've done it. Some students like to put a little X in the box. So again, you just come over to File, click Make a Copy, and then hit OK. And now you have your very own copy that is yours to type into, to highlight, to do whatever you want with. Okay. All right, so some of these items, and that's the other thing, the gateway to success on the front end, as we're looking at through some of these, it may seem like it's a lot of work, but again, generally those 2 hours that we're together, even today, we're going to knock out a couple of these items in our checklist. So next week, same thing. We're gonna knock out a couple of things together in class. So there's not going to be an overabundance of homework in here. There'll be a few things here and there, certainly, that you're going to have to do. Really, for any course, you're going to want to log into Blackboard, if you can, once a day. But at least a couple times a week, make sure you're logging into Blackboard and kind of checking in with yourself. So anyhow, this is the course deliverables list. You've got the syllabus, acknowledgement, and receipt. So 5 points, that's just for hitting that Mark Reviewed button. Okay. We come back, course deliverables, acknowledgement, and receipt. So we come back over once we finish going through this, or maybe you already have, then the same thing, there's a Mark Reviewed tab or button down there, and then that's done. Check and check. And then we'll look at we'll look at discussion boards in just a few minutes as we go, and then we'll also start looking in a little bit more depth at module 1, a little bit more of the welcome stuff. Okay, so this has your entire 7 weeks. Well, it's 8 weeks course, but this has 7 weeks of deliverables on it. And all of those items are going to be found under your modules tab in Blackboard. So going back over to Blackboard, under syllabus and assignments, that's what you're going to find, the syllabus and then the assignment deliverables. So let's go back to start here. All right, we made it. Okay, so start here, the learning cycle document. So and not all of us provide this, many of us do, kind of a breakdown of your time management aspects. So with this particular course, what we've created is a little learning cycle, and the learning cycle we use is called engage, comprehend, practice, and apply. So really what this means is kind of 4 stages of this learning cycle. The engage stage is phase 1 or stage 1. It's to get the students hooked or engaged or interested in what's coming next. So I'm going to show you a video, Gateway to Success, short video, and then the comprehend. So kind of getting a little deeper understanding of what we're trying to accomplish here, of what's going on with this course and what are we introducing you to. And then practice is usually involves some activities. So reviewing discussion board tips, and then you'll do a little e-learning discussion board. And then the applicability portion is going to be a little bit more in depth, kind of tidying things up. Sometimes you'll have like a quiz or an exam, maybe in the application section, maybe some sort of a lab project, or maybe something that basically ties everything together that we did with the engage, comprehend, practice aspect. Then we apply what we've learned. So that's really kind of the goal or mission of a lot of our courses, is to take each unit or each section and get each of you engaged, and then get you kind of learning a little, digging a little deeper with it, and then doing some practice, and then applying it through some means or method. So so we're going to go through, and it talks about how much time each of these could take or should take. Again, these are rough estimates. Every student is different. So so the total time is 70 to 110 minutes. And this is for the kind of the initial start here cycle. So when we go back to our course deliverables, we're kind of looking at this first little section here. Okay. I'm not going to show you this video. This is some of the Gateway to Success courses are solely online with no synchronous kind of meeting. So you could have feasibly taken this class as a web course where you never see the instructor, you don't talk to them, you don't meet with them or anything. So that's what this video is for. It's basically goes through what we're doing right now together. It goes through kind of a course shell overview. Where are things low? So I would recommend watching it. I don't think it's too terribly long, but I'm not going to show that video to you in here. Again, this is kind of what it'd be a little bit redundant, I think, for what we're doing. I'm probably already boring you to death as it is. This might be the tipping point. So so anyway, let's go through and look at again just some of the items that you're going to want to take a look at. So engage is, again, getting you engaged with the course shell and kind of how Blackboard works. Comprehend section. This talks about online learning. What is online learning? Again, this, if you're planning on taking some e-courses, web courses, again, asynchronous, you basically just work at your own pace and you have an end date and then you're done, then you may want to watch this video. It may be beneficial. If your goal really is to try and take most of your courses face-to-face or hybrid, then take it or leave it. But anyway, it's about 2.5 minutes, discusses what is online learning. And then one of our instructors, Sue Lacan, does kind of a little more in-depth aspect of what is online learning for a gateway student. So again, you can watch those at your own leisure if you'd like. Okay. Now this next one is a little bit different. It gets away from some of that and gets into kind of analyzing what a learning cycle is. And many learning cycles that we discuss are going to involve different learning styles. So one of the learning styles, so part of the cycle is knowing what your learning style is. So we'll go through and look at there are a couple different learning styles, websites or analyzers, I guess you could say, books certainly about it. But generally we think of the so you can watch this video as well between now and next Monday. But again, we'll do an activity. It's called a VARK, V as in Victor, ARK, and that stands for visual, audio, read, and the K is for kinesthetic. So the VARK styles of learning involve being a visual learner, an audio learner, a read learner, read oftentimes goes with read write, they call it, because it's kind of like reading, taking notes, reading, take so or kinesthetic, which a lot of you are probably that probably appeals to a lot of you. The kinesthetic part, kinesthetic means you're actually doing movements, you're actually putting things together, you're touching, and almost more tactile skills. So you know, most of you are here at Gateway because you're going to go into some sort of profession or field that may require a lot of manual and hands-on work. So so yeah, kinesthetic learning is a big deal. Research has been done on all these different learning styles, and generally they find that we're all different. Imagine that. But they certainly found some similarities. One thing they did find is that when they research learning styles is that most of us are what we would call multimodal, which means we're probably not absolutely a visual learner. And we're probably not absolutely any one of the others. So it comes down to being kind of a percentage game. So, you know, and it also comes down to the situation. But again, sometimes when we get into these types of things, you know, you could get bogged down by just generalizations, because you and I both know, right, that we can't generalize too much. We have to accept that many things are situational. But regardless, I think there are tendencies that exist regarding learning styles that we maybe have maybe developed for us as opposed to us maybe developing them. So if you went through like the K-12 assembly line process of education, you were probably given a lot of audio and read write type stuff, you know, depending again on the course. Maybe you did a lot more hands-on in certain courses, but a lot of it is talking and listening and writing stuff down, and you know, students are almost forced to abide by that type of teaching style. So learning styles often become adapted by what the teaching style, overriding teaching style was during their formative years. So many of you may have struggled, you know, with certain classes, but excelled in other classes. And maybe one of the reasons was the courses you didn't do so well in involved a lot of aspects that aren't part of your learning style, aren't conducive. So, you know, a lot of reading and writing and having to listen to lectures, right, that can get heavy. Some students love it, some students that's their thing, and if you make them get into groups and start touching things and twisting things and putting things together and pouring things, they get kind of, you know, so again, we're all different, right? So but that you may change too. I mean, like I say, right now at the beginning right now of your kind of college career here, if we did this learning style assessment, you know, it may be different than at the very end of your stay here. So 2 years from now, you redo the learning style assessment, you may find that you became a little bit more leaning toward one thing than maybe you thought you were assessed at the beginning. So again, flexibility is key. Just know that what most of us try to do at Gateway is appeal to all the learning styles. So we try to create assignments, activities, experiences that are appealing to all types of learners, appealing to a visual learner, an audio learner, a read write learner, a kinesthetic learner, and ultimately that multimodal learner, which is again most of us. So so anyway, you can watch that video if you'd like. I would recommend it. And then there's we'll look at, it's a VARK, VARK, kind of short questionnaire. We'll look at that here coming up shortly, and then you can analyze what your learning style is and how accurate maybe it is too. So because you may find out something about yourself you maybe didn't know regarding your style of learning. But yeah, you just think about those courses that you just couldn't stand, and maybe the instructor that you just couldn't stand, and maybe you didn't do so well, and then you think about the courses that you loved and you excelled in, and the instructor was awesome, and think about those differences and what it meant for you. as a student. So so discussion boards, let's keep moving on into that. Discussion boards, you're going to have a few of these over the next 8 weeks. So again, many instructors use them. So it's good to have an idea kind of what a discussion board is. This day and age, I'm sure most, if not all of you have had some form of social media. So whether it's Facebook or back in the day, it was MySpace, and now it's TikTok and Instagram, and I don't even know. There's a gazillion of them. So even YouTube, kind of, right? So you can make comments. You can think of like Facebook. You can write your original post. Is your thoughts on something, and then some of your friends or family or strangers may respond to your original post. So that's in essence what a discussion board is, except I provide you, or your instructor will provide you with the topic of discussion, and then each of you will write up an original thought or post that goes with that topic, and then you'll reply to a couple of your peers. So that's the basics of a discussion board. I don't think it's too outside the box for most of us. I think at this stage in the game, all of us understand a little bit about putting your thoughts onto a screen and then replying to other people's thoughts that have been put on a screen. So I'm not going to belabor it too terribly much. I just kind of want to show you a little bit of the ins and outs. So in this course, again, sharing your ideas with your peers. Generally, instructors don't jump in too terribly often in discussion threads. So just understand that it's not if your instructors aren't participating in the discussion boards, it's not that we're not reading through them. Again, it's kind of a spot for the students to really kind of connect and engage in productive discussions. So anyway, your original post, again, you want to keep it clear and concise. So with emphasis on both clear and concise. Okay. If it gets too wordy, your peers may see it, and that's enough. That's enough for them. They don't want to click. So try to keep it to like 50 words or less. And again, that's like a paragraph, right? Address the topic, certainly professional and respectful, and that, again, it's this day and age too, there's a lot of sensitivities with perceived negativity with regards to again, perceived judgment words or trigger words. So again, just being aware of that. A lot of us don't intentionally make a post that's meant to again, like offend someone. But again, be aware of what you're typing, and reread it a couple of times before you hit that submit/post button. So sometimes these can become kind of stream of consciousness thoughts, and then you hit submit, and then you read it after you've submitted it. You're kind of like, oh, whoops, I don't know if I meant, I could have said that, so try with anything, right? If you're sending out an email, if you're doing your discussion board, doing any of your assignments, double, triple check, that you're good to go. Examples of posts: describe your hobby, explain why you enjoy it. This post does not meet scoring guidelines requirement. I don't have time for a hobby. I wish I did. Again, well, we can go further with that. I volunteer in an animal shelter. Guess animals are my hobby. Then dogs are my favorite. Blah, I mean, I'm not an English instructor, so I'm not going to be picking apart your grammatical syntax, any of that stuff. It's more about the quality of your thoughts, and of your responses. So not necessarily looking at quantity or amounts or word numbers, but yeah. In responses, your hobby sounds fun. I have a friend who likes dogs too. All right, so the trickiest part, I think, for discussion boards is usually the responses. The tendency is we certainly want to be agreeable with our classmates, right? I think it's human nature to want to be agreeable for the most part, especially in a discussion board where it's you're replying or responding to the original poster's kind of original thoughts. So we want to be aware of how we're responding, and again, the tendency is to respond in a positive manner. Oh, I like what you said, or I agree with that, or couldn't have said it better myself. Those types of responses aren't technically acceptable for points and stuff. I'm not saying they're not acceptable to do, but we're looking for responses to be a little bit more like connective than just, yeah, that makes sense, or I totally agree, or awesome work, or those are good, right? Those are positives, those are affirmations, and you can do that too. But know that you really want to try and throw in a little more than that. All right, I think it makes sense. And again, I'm not going to pick them apart when it comes to grading these, unless I'm noticing some real iffy stuff. I would reach out to the student specifically. I wouldn't go into a discussion board and blow it up or anything, and no different than you would. So anyway, just check off those boxes, and you'll be good to go. So kind of your first practice discussion board is this e-learning discussion board. What is e-learning? I think also known as online learning. I don't know what the E must be for Ethernet, probably. So anyway, we looked at online you'll look at these videos. What is online learning? Okay, so go through that. What is online learning? And then respond to the prompt below. All right, what's your experience with e-learning? So have you taken an online course before? If so, how was it? Was it miserable? Was it great? Was it neutral? And then why? So don't just say what was your experience with e-learning? What's your experience been? I took a class. Have you taken any class before? Yes. How was the experience? Good. And go a little further than that, I guess is what I'm saying. So and then post it, and then respond to at least one of your peers. That's all for this one. So here's what I recommend students do for any discussion board. Your prompt, your bold, what you're talking about in your discussion is right here. So what I tell students or recommend, I don't tell anybody to do anything. I just make suggestions and recommendations. But what you've got there, what you need to be discussing. So just highlight it and then right click it. Okay, so I'll show you how to do that again. So just get over there and hold down your left mouse button and highlight that, and then right click it and then hit copy. And now you've got copied your question. So now you can go actually into the e-learning discussion board. Okay, so what that did is took us right to the discussion board. Okay, so it's a hyperlink. There's a hyperlink over here for discussion boards as well. Okay, so let me do that again, just show you how we got there. We have two ways to get there. Okay. So you can either just click the e-learning discussion board. See how the hand lights up? That means it's a link. And this happens to be a course link. So it's going to take you to the discussion boards. Okay, so we can get there one of a couple different ways. All right, now that we're in the discussion board spot, you have a homework and course questions. So if you can email me, you can post, you can start a new thread, you can, that's kind of for you to do whatever you want to do with. If you've got any technical issues, pop those in there. I'll look at that and see if I can take care of anything. This is just a sample discussion thread. I don't think you can see that one. You might be able to, but we're not using it. So we're going right to this e-learning discussion board thread. Okay. So let me move there. So this is the one we want. So we're going to go ahead and click on it and open it up. So no, there's nothing there, right? So this is where you create your thread. And remember, you copied and pasted the questions a second ago. And there they are up there again. So if you didn't copy and paste them, you've got it back for you again. But so now you've got your text area, kind of your text box. So subject, you can, couple of suggestions, I like when students put their name in the subject line and then maybe what's going on. So so e-learning Kevin Yoakum would maybe be the subject. Pardon me. Too much yakking. Here we go. So e-learning Kevin Yoakum. That's my topic or my thread. So now I come down here, and the thing about Blackboard and the thing about copying and pasting, it's not the traditional hit your right click and then paste. You have to use the control icon. So Control V is paste, and it'll ask if you want to keep the formatting or remove it. Doesn't really matter. I usually do keep formatting, and then it'll stay bold. So now I have the questions that I need to answer in my discussion, so that I'm not having to go back and forth. What they want again? Oh, okay, experience. So now I have it right in there. And then what you can do even is go like this and something like that. And then just in answer, what has your experience with e-learning been? And you can unbold it if you want. Okay. You can leave it bold. Okay. And again, this is just a suggestion. You don't have to do it this way. But I think it helps with continuity and not just with you, the poster, but when I go through and read them as a commenter or reader, everything's just nice, neat, and tidy. What I would like you to do, it's kind of if so, how was that experience for you? If you've had multiple experiences with online learning, or maybe just had one, talk about the goods, the goods and the bads, the pros and the cons, positives and negatives. Don't just focus on what went well, and don't just focus on what went wrong. I want you to do both, if you would. Okay. It's a moot point if you've never had an online course. So I think all of you have had some degree of it. Even if this e-learning has been a hybrid course. So anything e-learning wise. Okay. And then once you've done that, you just hit submit and it's posted. Okay. I didn't hit submit. That's why it's not in there, but that's it. That's all you have to do. And then once one's in there and you reply to you can reply to thread is how you reply to your peer. And again, you just have to reply to one peer. So let's go back to our course deliverables. That takes care of this first 20 points. So read receipt, syllabus, read receipt, course deliverables, and e-learning discussion board. Again, one original post, one peer reply. Have that done by next Monday. Okay, the second thing that you're going to do, I guess part 2 to part 1. Again, the apply, this is the going back to the deliverables and syllabus and marking those as reviewed. Next up is Microsoft Office 365. Again, if you don't have Microsoft Office 365, click this, follow these instructions. It'll go through how to get Microsoft Office. So again, you want to make sure you do that. I'll remind you next week and make sure that that everybody did that. Read speaker. Notice on your Blackboard, you've got a little arrow that's always sticking out over here. So you can click that and open that up, and it'll give you the ability to listen to text. So you basically highlight whatever text you want to hear, you hit listen, and it'll read it to you. So if you like, if you have reading difficulties or visual impairments, sometimes sound is easier for you. So that's what that is there. There we go. There's a little video, kind of a how-to, if that interests you. All right, so that's it for phase, I guess, pre-phase, the introduction, prologue. Okay, now we're in to what we call the modules folder. So you probably, once you've done the discussion board and that for the start here, everything else that we do is going to be under the modules tab. And I just have module 1 open right now. This, by the way, this is the course competencies are in there. Now, right now, I just have module 1 open. Next week, maybe over the weekend, I'll open module 2. Then we'll see how it goes. I may open them all up and go from there. But I think opening them one at a time is the best way to go. So module 1, again, talks about every module will have this little learning cycle. These are the amount of time that you'll spend on this module. So 120 minutes, so 2 hours maybe at the most on this module. And again, next week, we're going to be doing, so between now and next week, you should be able to get a lot of this completed. And then when we get back together on Monday, we're going to go through module 1 and check everything off and make sure all of you were able to complete everything and get your discussion boards done and whatever else that we need to do finished. There's two welcome videos. Provost Zena Haywood with a little welcome message. And then Dr. Says Dean, he's now Dr. Dean Nieto, doing a Spanish welcome as well. Dr. Nieto is the dean of the School of Liberal Arts and Sciences. He's also the kind of production man of Gateway to Success. So if you ever get to meet Jorge or Dr. Nieto, you will find him to be extraordinary. Same with Zena. Zena is as well, but Zena's retiring very soon. I think maybe this semester. So your maybe only interaction with Zena will be through that video. So anyway, so watch either one of those. That's the engage aspect. And then comprehend, finding your meaning of life, inspiring video. So we'll check out that video. And then one thing that I want to introduce you to today, because this is due in 7-8 weeks. So we call it a moment of meaning project, and it's kind of your reflection of yourself and of the semester. It's a very open-ended kind of discussion and project. It's an open-ended project that you'll be discussing with us just a couple of minutes at the very end of the semester, week 8. So creating something that exemplifies your experience so far. And again, maybe this course has been your only. So that's what I mean. I have a lot of flexibility with this project. But I do want you to talk kind of about a little bit about what you've learned in this course. So some students, most of us have seen PowerPoints or Google Slides or little presentations. So we'll work on these together, and once we're in class together, it'll be a little bit easier. I could show you some of the basics of putting together a Google slide or a PowerPoint. And so just basically kind of a few slides kind of on your experience in the course. So it's kind of hard to explain at the moment because we have a lot to do between now and then, but just basically going to talk about what of all the things we did this semester, which ones really hit home, what really made sense to you, what was kind of your moment of meaning, if you will, the light bulb moment. You've maybe heard that phrase at some point or another, the light bulb went on. Maybe your moment of meaning occurred, prior to Gateway. Maybe it's so anyway, try to keep it though within what's been going on in this class, but branch out into your own personal experience, even your before or your past, your present and your future. Okay, so kind of discussing maybe and presenting something along those lines. So again, I want you to discuss, maybe a little bit about your how you'd manage time, if that did something for you, or your strengths when we go through that. Maybe your learning style, maybe just your expectations of your future in whatever field you're going into. Maybe you want to discuss that, how this course is maybe going to help you or assist you with whatever you're going into. Again, some of you are aeronautics, some of you are CNC, some of you are medical, some of you are interior design, some of you are early childhood. So I mean, the list goes on. You guys come from all areas. So what you each of you individually take from these next 8 weeks and how you're going to move forward with that is really kind of what I'm looking for. And it's your opportunity to at the end to spend a couple minutes too, just talking to your classmates and about, how it affected you and what you're going to do with it. So anyway, that's it. There's some, there's some samples that you can look at, the more details as well. Again, this slide deck of samples will, you can click Google Slides and open those up. So yeah, there's so many ways in which to do this. It could be as simple as one slide. I mean, in a 2 to 4 minute kind of discussion. So of what went on. It's a course requirement. So 2 to 4 minutes. You can do that. 2 to 4 minutes flies by. We've already been together now for an hour. We've been together for 70 minutes already. You've been hearing me yak. So I'm almost done because I want to give you time to digest all of this and get working on some of it. As you dive right in. So all you need to do then for the rest of your deliverables. So let me go back over here. Oops, that's your Office 365 suite. Okay, so course syllabus acknowledgement, course deliverables, e-learning discussion board. All right, so next up, I'll show you this little scavenger hunt assignment, which you kind of already have done. It just has a few other items in it. There's a little student orientation activity, a little journal, and another discussion board. So just a couple of items. Again, these aren't meant to be intense or take too much of your time. They're really to get you acclimated to Blackboard and the Gateway and to kind of knowing yourself a little bit better as a student. So for this assignment, you use a syllabus from any course that you're taking. So you can use the syllabus certainly for this course because you have it. You can use the syllabus for any course you're taking. So answer 5 of the questions below, 3 questions from group A and 2 questions from group B. identify the course name and number, and in addition to answering these 5 questions. So and enter them into a Word document and upload into Blackboard. Now, so again, you need to get Office 365 or Word if you don't have it already. But again, in the meantime, you can also type right into Google Docs. Now, let's see. So kind of like what I showed you with the discussion boards, if I were to, let me open up a new, just a new regular old document. Everybody doing okay? You guys hanging in there? There's a lot of info, I know. And again, if you're just joining or if you've joined a little late, please be sure to type your name in the chat. So at the end of the time here, I can, because it looks like there's 13 of you are here out of the 14 that have registered. So that's excellent. And again, I've been recording this the whole time. So if you missed anything, or you had to step outside and get some fresh air, or go to the restroom, or get a snack, so anyway, so let's say that, so I have a new document here in a Google Doc. So this is the same as a Word doc, but it's easier for you to see, for me to go back and forth. So let's say that's a Word doc, a new one. So what I would do is the same thing that I you may did for those discussion boards. I'd copy and paste that information. And sometimes, it may even, some students will copy the whole assignment. So then you have kind of what do you need to do about it. But course name, course number. So group A, you need to do, you'd answer 3 questions. Group B, you need to answer 2 questions from that group. Okay, so just, and again, you can use this syllabus. I prefer you use a different syllabus from a different class. But if this is the only class you're taking, then do this one. All right, so what I want you to do is then type in the course names, instructor name. So general anatomy and physiology, that's the syllabus I'm going to use. And the instructor is Yoakum, and the course number is 806-17731 BA, something like that. Okay, your course number and all of that is right here in your Blackboard. If you're wondering, it should also be in your syllabus. So, okay, so name of the they put your name too, Joe student. So general A&P, Yoakum, you could have the name of you can have these switched around. Doesn't matter, as long as you identify what the course is and the course number. And then what I want you to do is answer any of these 3 questions about that syllabus. So does the class have a textbook or other required materials? And again, when it does ask a yes or no question, please go further than just yes. So unless it's no, if the answer is no, then it's no. Although it could be no, like this class. Do we have a textbook or required materials? No, there's no required textbook, but we are required to have Microsoft Office 365. So so anyway, try to do more than just yes or no. And then answer 2 questions of these. Okay. And again, you can do it in a Google Doc. You can do it in a Word doc. Either one is fine. Now, when you're ready, so what, right? Now you did it. Now what do you do with it? All right. Well, let's go over to Module 1, back to the assignment. So I click on that. Okay, and this is the assignment drop box. So what it's going to do is show us how many points are possible. And then there's a rubric. So if I click that, it'll open up and it'll tell me as a student, how am I getting graded? Okay. It's a 20-point assignment. Kind of an all or, did you answer at least 3 of the questions? Yep. Did you respond to 2 questions from B? Yep. And did you submit it by the due date? Yep. So check, check, and check, 20 points. All right. So that's your rubric. And again, not all instructors have them. Some do. Okay. That's where you'll see how you're graded. And then there's the assignment again, but you've already done it. You typed it up, you're ready to submit it. So you want to go to browse local files. And this again, if it's in a Word document. Okay, so it's a Word document, you probably saved it. Maybe you saved it under general A&P. There it is. All right, there's that Word document. That's my and how should you title it, or how should you save it? I would save it as syllabus scav or SS, something like that, with your last name. Okay, so syllabus scav dot yoakum or whatever. Right? Not my last name, your last. Syllabus dot student, Joe student, whatever. All right, Smith. Okay. But so anyway, so I'm looking for it, found it, clicked it, and there it is. So you can see again, it's my syllabus scavenger hunt. Okay, that's it. Then I hit, well, it's not it. I have to hit submit, clink, and done. Now, what if you did it as a Google Doc? Which you can. I encourage it. So what you can do if you did it as a Google Doc, again, you want to title it up here. It even has Joe student up there. So we'll put syllabus sil.scav.joe student. Okay, so that's the name of it. So you can either download it as a Microsoft Doc and then go do what I'll do it, but download as a Microsoft Doc. Then I would go over here, come into here, and there it is, Sil Scav Joe student, and then hit submit. All right, so you can do it that way. Now, what if you don't have, or you did whatever, you don't want to do that? Well, you can do it this way. Go over to where it says share and click the share button. And then you can click share with gtc.edu. You can click anyone with the link. And then you can click copy the link. And so now the link has been copied. And then what you could do, see where it says write submission? You can click write submission and then Control V, paste the Google Doc in there and then hit submit. Okay. But again, if you go that route, you have to remember to share it, right? You have to remember to change the permission, because otherwise you send it to me and then I can't open it because it's yours and it's a private file. All right, so that's how you do a Dropbox. Two possibilities. Okay. Well, there's another one. See, you can also, if you've got your file, if you've got your file open. So this is your file folder where you store everything. Maybe you've got a flash drive or a zip drive or a jump drive or whatever drive. You can also grab it and hold it and drag it and drop it. See how it turned purple? It says copy. That's another way of putting something in the Dropbox. And then there it is. And so you can browse your local files. You can add a written link. And by the way, in the right submission, don't type in your assignment in that. Most of us don't really like that too terribly much. I mean, if that's the only way you can do it, if you can do it that way, you can do it in a Word, in a Google Doc. So the only thing you should ever write in the submission is a link to a Google Doc. Or if there's something you need to tell the instructor, you could say, I submitted this, but I did have a quick question about number 6. I answered it, but I'm a little unsure. So if you want to communicate with your instructor regarding the assignment you submitted here, that's another spot in the right submission. Okay. hopefully I know I'm giving you a lot of info. So, but this is being recorded. Again, you can go back and watch it. If you ever have questions, again, you know, by all means, ask away. Because chances are, you know, the old saying, if one person's got it, the question, probably multiple students do. So, you know, so anyway, we'll wait for that to go back to where we were. Okay, there we go. All right, syllabus scavenger hunt. So let's see. I think we're just about there. Let's see. Hello, my name is. So this is an online kind of student orientation. So you need to make sure that you go through and do this. Let me click on that. Okay. Again, it's got the Dropbox for you. So it's tool designed to introduce you again to a number of our resources. Like I said earlier, we've got a ton of resources beyond just, you know, tutoring and financial aid. Again, we'll explore several of them in depth, but I want you to go to your My Gateway page and find the link for new student orientation. Okay, there's the My Gateway tab. Okay, so this is the home page, gtc.edu homepage. Click the My Gateway tab. And within here, you'll find a new student orientation. You guys hanging in there? Where I promise we're getting close. Now I may not have it in mind because I'm not a new student, but I thought that we all had it in here. Oh, and here's where you can get that Office 365 as well. Okay. Oops. That is which can be found on the left-hand side of the page under My Advisor's Success Team banner. So let's go back over there and see My Advisors. Yeah, see, I don't have any of that stuff. So, but that's where you'll find it, My Advisors and Success Team banner. Work through all 7 of the modules. Check your understanding by responding to the short quiz at the end of each section. You can save your process, you know, your progress, come back to it. You don't have to complete all 7 in one sitting. Take a screenshot of the orientation homepage with check marks showing each of the modules. So this is what it'll look like. This is an example screenshot. So look just like that. So take a screenshot. You'll have all your 7 check marks just like that. And then take a screenshot. Now, use the assignment link and so then and then just submit the screenshot. So again, you can browse local files, submit it'll be a PNG file probably, or JPEG. Same right submission, you know, you can put the link in there if it's in a link, like in a Google Doc. Okay, but yeah, should be just a local file screenshot. So you browse local file, go to pictures. That's where all my screenshots are stored. Let's see, just find one of these and this one looks good. Boom, done, and submit. Okay, that's it. And screenshots on a computer, it's usually going to be the function button and insert, but it depends on your computer. Function insert usually will do a screenshot. So I've had some students take their phone and hold it up to their computer screen and take a picture. Some students do it on their phone, this orientation, because it's pretty slick. Done on the phone, link screenshot of the phone, and then email that screenshot, or you deposit it right into Blackboard, or email yourself the screenshot, save it if you have a cloud drive, whether it's a Google Cloud, you know, Google Drive, you can save it into there. But anyway, if you're having issues with the screenshot and proving that you did it, shoot me an email, and we'll get it figured out. Okay. Should be pretty straightforward. Like I say, just take a screenshot. It'll save it as a PNG typically, and then it'll be in your folder. And then just open this Dropbox up and attach it right to the Dropbox. And then hit submit, of course. Okay, so that's your little gateway student orientation. Journals. So there's a little journal as well that you'll do a few assignments in. So you have three options for this. Find or draw and briefly describe a picture graphic. If you create a drawing with a pen, so you can, write your definition in the journal, upload a link to an audio. So it sounds like a lot, but let me show you all you need to do. Just click Module 1 Journal. What's your definition of academic success? Okay. It says create journal entry. So you can find or draw and briefly describe a picture or graphic. So basically what I'm looking for is kind of define. So this person, so the example I put in there is just a picture of someone that's just graduated with their hand. Maybe that's your definition of academic success. Graduating, that means I succeeded. Maybe getting that first job. Maybe getting through. Maybe academic success for you is simply just being in college, just being a student. Trust me, that's you're successful if you're that far. So all right, so however you define it, try to define it with a graphic. I don't expect you to, though. You can do it however works best for you, but you could, you create a drawing, you could draw it. Some of you are very artistic. Maybe you want to draw it out and take a picture of it, whatever you want to do. So you're going to write a little definition to go with that image. The important thing is the definition. How do you define success regarding academic success? Okay. So you just click create journal entry. And you can title it academic success. And this is yours. No one else can see it. This is not a discussion board. This is private. Only you and I can see it. So, not that I don't know if, so you could spill your guts if you want about your background, how you got here, what were the driving factors, what were the motivators to get you to this point. You be as candid as you'd like. Okay, and only I see it, no one else does. And you can title it, and you can just type right in. No, you don't have to do anything with this. If you do have a picture, which I hope you do, you can click the plus button. See that? You can hit the plus button. The other thing, if it's a website, you can click this. This is to insert a link. So if you found like a Google image or you found an image somewhere, you can, put a link. You click that and then just copy and paste the URL. But if you have a picture, a photo, or a drawing, or whatever, a JPEG or PNG, just go to add content. It's kind of like the Dropbox, and hit insert local file. Mine automatically opens to image, but there it is. Just pops it right in, and then whatever it is that you want to say about it. Yeah, I'll show you that again. So if you just hit the plus, insert local files, and whatever it is that you want to insert, double click it. And you can resize it if you want. And then start typing. And then hit post entry. And that's it. And that's a journal. And again, I'm the only one who sees it. So you can write whatever you'd like. Okay, so module 1 almost done. So let me go back to the deliverables. Okay, so we've got these first 3 done. The syllabus, scavenger hunt, new student orientation activity, journal, academic success, and then lastly is a little discussion board. And then I also put an extra credit item in there too, if you want to do that. And then we're done for the day. I'll let you go to it. Okay, so second discussion board. So the first one, was what's your experience with e-learning. The second one has to do with your fullest name. Who are you? What's your deal? So just again, you click right on that. It'll take you over to our discussion boards. Then we scroll down. And create a thread. Questions below may help you get started. So again, like I said earlier, you can copy, paste, and there you go. So now from here, you can just start typing right in. Use the link above to participate. We already did that. That's how we got here. Write out your fullest name and briefly tell your story. Questions, who gave you your name? Why that name? Do you know the ethnic origin of your name? Do you have any nicknames? What's your preferred name? Yeah. Add, you can, again, if you want to add a picture, you can add a picture. This is an old pic. I don't know. Yikes. There you go. I don't look like that, do I? I should probably update my picture. So anyway, yep. That's like over 3-4 years ago. I think I'm getting younger. Anyway, so that's it. Then hit submit and you're done. Delete the loop. All right. That's it. Then lastly, there's a little extra credit item for you too. If you want to do that, you're more than welcome to. It's just 10 points. You can list, it kind of goes along with the hello, my name is, it goes a little further. 3 movies, shows, songs, musicians, artists, authors, books, people who are your favorites or go-tos when you need inspiration or just feeling a certain way. Describe the who, what, when, where, why, the items you chose. Submit as a Word doc, or you can just type right in submission text for that one if you want. It's extra credit. Just have fun, just it doesn't have to be too deep. It can be as deep as you want it to be, right? So just practice with that, just getting used to different things. Now, different Blackboard items, discussion boards, drop boxes, etc. Now, one last thing I want to show you. You may have noticed in Blackboard, these little guys here, these pieces of paper, they're icons, right? So they're different. So when you see an icon like this, it's got the little chain link going with it. That means that's a web link. So when I click this, you notice the hand pops open. This indicates that this is going to take me out somewhere else. Okay. So it took me out to a Google Doc. Okay. So let's scroll down. This, it just looks like a piece of paper with like a little square there. Same with this. These are simply just titles. So these are just page, in essence, it's like a page. So there's nothing to click on. It just gives you some info. Okay, so here's another one like that. Okay, just showing us that this is right there. There's another one. Here's another one. Know your goals. This is a good video. It's 4 minutes of, kind of inspirational and aspects of, again, going back to that moment of meaning for you. Okay, so no, so we've seen all the same, right? These are again, there's nothing to them. We saw one that's a link, but now here's one. It's a little different. It's not a link, but it's got a bunch of words going across. It looks like an assignment. So that's indicative of a Dropbox. So that's going to take me to a Dropbox. If I click that, an assignment. Okay, so there's another one. It's going to take me to a Dropbox. Okay. And then this little icon, it looks like a journal. Looks like a little book, right? Like a little journal. So that is a journal. Pretty straightforward. And then the discussion board is a couple of word talk bubbles, conversation bubbles. So that's a discussion board. And then again, this one is going to be some sort of a Dropbox. Okay, so that may help. I don't know, down the road. I used Blackboard for a few years. I've been using Blackboard for gosh, a long time, a decade probably or more. But yeah, it took me a couple semesters of using it to finally notice that these were different and they actually had meaning. So, so anyway, there you go. Couple other things. My grades. This will open your grade book. Email, that'll open up some options for sending out emails. Some other just basic resources that we provide in every course. Tutoring services, link. Brain Fuse is another type of tutoring services or tutoring service. LinkedIn Learning, Blackboard help. You need help with Blackboard, more resources. Title IX, discrimination, Gateway Tech if you have technical issues, and then the student handbook. Okay, so that is a link out to the student handbook. So we'll refer to this a few times during the semester. We'll look at that as well. Each campus has hard copies of student handbooks. So if you're at a campus and you want a student handbook, they have them there, and they usually have them as like a journal, calendar. So kind of a double duty. Okay, well, that's it for now. Let's go back to our deliverables and I'll let you go. Okay. So again, this video is recorded. I will upload it into our Blackboard shell probably over the next few hours. And I'll send an announcement with the link to the video. It'll be in YouTube, actually. And then we can go from there. But you're gonna you want to knock those first couple items out, the receipts for syllabus and deliverables, little e-learning. What's your experience with e-learning? The syllabus scavenger hunt, new student orientation and online activity, and then again a screenshot of your completion, and then a little journal entry. Again, I don't keep track of word count, so when it says 50 words or 100 to 200 words, it's about the content, not the number of words, for as far as I'm concerned. If you can say everything you need to say in 80 words, but the assignment says it has to be 100, leave it. It's 80 words. It's good enough. And then your discussion board, your name, what's in the name, and then a little extra credit, just a couple of go-tos for music or movies or TV shows or whatnot. And then next week we'll talk about those a little bit. Maybe get to get you guys interacting, maybe get some breakout rooms and some other stuff. But anyway, between now and next week, get all this stuff taken care of. And if you have questions, send me an email. I have office hours if we need to meet in Zoom and you need me to show you how to do some things, by all means, we can do that too. All right, for Mac, Shift plus Command plus 3. Yeah, right. Thanks, Brielle. Yes, Mac has the screenshot buttons are a little bit different. Have to head out. Okay, thanks, Marcus, for coming. You may have already left, but but yeah, I don't think you missed anything. 2:30, we're good to go. All right, you guys, I'm going to stop recording.